I really need to think about this. I've played 2 mid laners and a jungler, and now I'm really kind of missing top lane. I wonder who should I play up there? Not yet. I'm getting motion sickness just thinking about that. Tahm Kench is a special demon newt that a few of us hold near and dear to our hearts. He's one of those characters that doesn't have to build any damage items in order to outtrade you, have little in resistances to out-tank you, and even less subtlety to outplay you, while still being dapper as fuck. I know, some of you are thinking that is a face that screams, "I will send you to Jesus." But, yeah. Tahm Kench's passive is an acquired taste. His basic attacks and tongue lash deal 80 to 60 plus 2.5% of his bonus health as bonus magic damage. You can smell the bullshit already. On top of that, basic attacks and tongue lash against enemy champions apply a stack of an acquired taste for 5 seconds, maxing out at 3 stacks. These stacks do something different for some of his abilities, which I will mention as we get to them. It's honestly absurd how much damage you can get away with this passive. Early trading with Kench is like buying RP for League of Legends. Especially since most top laners do not have a way to deal with magic damage early on, you'll be chunked out for a lot more than you think through this alone. Tahm Kench's Q is Tongue Lash. Kench whips his tongue in a straight line, dealing magic damage and slowing the target. If he hits a champion, that target gets marked with an acquired taste and also heals Tahm Kench for a base amount plus based off of his missing health. If the target has 3 stacks of an acquired taste, it also stuns them for 1.5 seconds, consuming all of the marks in the process. Using your Q in between auto attacks is an amazing thing, as you rack up so much damage while still adding to your passive. You do have to decide when is a good time to use your Q as a way to approach, to try and save it for your stun, or just to poke. Ayo, Riot! Speaking of poke, whose idea was it to make the range bigger by increasing his size? That's what the tooltip says, and I'm still missing bitches like my life depended on it. What kind of weak-ass tongue game is this? Tahm Kench's W is Abyssal Dive. Now, I'm assuming there's 3 groups of people watching this video. The people that knew about this rework, the people who didn't, and my friends who don't play League. It's not worth your sanity! Tahm Kench channels while diving underwater, reappearing to a target location, knocking up all enemy units, dealing magic damage, and stunning them for 1 second. If Abyssal Dive hits an enemy champion, it refunds 40% of the cooldown timer and mana cost. What? This change for his W being a knockup now actually gives him good engage and follow-up for teamfighting, or even 1v1s now as well, instead of depending on people to walk up to you and hitting them with your Q and autoing them to death with your Devour and stuff. Just make sure you don't use this as a form of wave clear, unless you're trying to play AP Kench. A basic combo on Kench now actually is if you land your Q, it's a free knockup from your W right after. A very nice bread and butter combo if the butter was your enemy's tilt and the bread was the whole damn enemy. There is a decently long channel timer when using this ability, so using it half the time feels like... There's nothing here! It's kind of funny, I'm literally learning so much about this champion while writing the script. It makes me think how much more I could learn if I touched grass. Please, teach me everything I need to know. How do I unmute the newt? Undish the catfish, unroll the tadpole, unstick the lick, unpermit the Kermit, unsling the king, unbench the Kench. Can we stop with the bread, please? Thick skin lets Tahm Kench store a portion of his damage taken as gray health, letting him store it for 4 seconds. Within that time, as long as he is not damaged, you can either restore a certain percentage of that gray health into your regular health, or use it as a shield. This not only helps you stay pretty well sustained in lane, but also adds to the reason why you are so tanky early on. The cooldown timer on using the shield passive is so short, but if you really needed to, you could pop a second shield to save you from ignites or burns, or just to have 2 shields during a fight. I mean, sometimes having a shield as big as, well, Tahm Kench can be nice, but sometimes it's just as good to be pressing E so much that you're basically playing Earth. It'll be worth it in the end. Devour, not you, is Tahm's new ultimate. He can eat a champion for 3 seconds, making them unable to act at all while inside of him. If you use it on an ally, Tahm Kench is slowed while not being able to cast any abilities except for Abyssal Dive. The swallowed ally may also regurgitate themselves out of Kench early in any direction they choose. Once out, they also gain a shield scaling with AP. If you swallow an enemy, Tahm is slowed, but you can still cast abilities except for Abyssal Dive. When he regurgitates them, he deals damage based on his AP plus 15% of the target's max health. This ability literally allows you to 1v2. After landing 3 stacks on one target, you can swallow them for 3 seconds while fighting the second one. At least you stall the fight long enough for the second person to either back away or try to sustain with Q in your runes. If you have stacks on an enemy champion, you can actually use Tongue Lash as a way to lengthen the size of your ult. Simply press R after pressing Q like an Alistar combo, and now you're playing Mortal Kombat.
Get over here!
Even in 1v1s, you can pull some cheeky plays with this ult. Whether you're ulting and dragging them to your tower, to a minion wave, to someone else who wants the kill, just be careful of who you ult. You might hit a priority target, or you might end up eating a bro. And I'm just here to say it, you know, I ain't into vor shit, but... For runes and masteries, Grasp of the Undying is your best keystone by far. You're sustained from that, plus your Q makes harder lanes a bit more manageable. On top of that, from the permanent health increase, you'll be over time dealing more damage from the more stacks you get. Hail of Blades is an option as well if you want to get your passive stacks up even faster for better dueling, but it is definitely riskier. Standard tank items like Sunfire Aegis and Frostfire Gauntlet work really well on Kench. Anthema's Chains is also a good way to keep yourself tanky, especially when the enemy team has a fed hyper carry. Spirit Visage for obvious reasons, and if you feel like you could use a little more slap in your tongue, then Titanic Hydra is the way to go. You know, my friends keep asking me, why do you keep making the level 7 jokes? You know, it's childish after a while, and I have to agree, you know, because, like, for fuck's sakes, what am I, 6? But yeah, he's pretty aight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just wanted to say hello and thank you to everyone from the Pantheon subreddit. Y'all really liked the last Pretty Aiight video, and I'm always happy to entertain. If there's a champion that you would like to see get covered on here, please leave that in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe. Take care.